so keep on moving, got all the it's like, hey, girl, I'm trying to lose you. Having that with that juicy juice. Baby, tell me what it's gonna be. Look at the fuck.そいつはうちの船長だ。まずはこっちの頭を先に潰してもらおうか。
Hop on a dick, I made him get excited. This pussy off limits for lame niggas. Yeah, fuck me like you got some pain, nigga. Can't go back and forth.
ではモンキー D ルフィよろしく。
俺はルフィ海賊王になるってことだ。ちなみにこいつはどう？
As the French say, sous le boom, or whatever.
Did you mean to say? C'est la vie.
I don't like tiramisu. Usually when people say they don't like tiramisu, I feel like it's because...
What did you call that? Tiramisu. Tirayusu, everybody sue. Old MacDonald had a farm. Leave my food alone.
Chippy chippy, ruby ruby, Mahikomi ruby ruby. Chippy chippy, waka waka, ruby ruby, Mahikomi ruby ruby. Chippy chippy,
O cholera!
ruby ruby,
Freddy Faber?
Mahikomi ruby ruby. Chippy chippy, ruby ruby, Mahikomi ruby ruby.